The Astros get away on a happy flight home. They crush the Marlins 12-5. We're going to talk about this game, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what do they need to do to keep charging towards the Texas Rangers on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Veerling's back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. Positive, I love 3 home runs in the first inning. Always Stros.
No one in the league has swagger like us, swagger like the Astros, swagger like Kyle Tucker, swagger like Chas McCormick, and swagger like Alex Bregman, and they did it in the 3rd inning. And guys, if you want to watch these boys in action, go and download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen and become an everydayer. Somebody that listens to us, yes, every day. Somebody that listens to us talk about the Astros, talk about Martin Maldonado versus Yainer Diaz every day, and go ahead and listen to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to the Locked On, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. So there's a lot for us to discuss. The Astros scored 12 runs for Justin Verlander. I think this is the second straight start that they scored multiple, double-digit runs for him. They did 3 runs, home runs in the first inning. I was just like, dude, this guy's throwing batting practice. Verlander's start, though, it was almost like batting practice. The defense wasn't great as well, but Jose Altuve, after a slight scare in the game before, he returned back to the lineup. The Astros at 70 wins, and the rotation is set up for Seattle. And is there a Michael Brantley update? And I do want to hear about what your thoughts on Michael Brantley are. So we'll talk about that, because I'm sure you heard my little
yes, I did. I heard your I heard your dig, and even if I throughout the day go back and listen to certain parts, I go, is that what I thought I heard? Yes, I did hear you call out your co-host. That's okay. I appreciate you recognizing me. Game recognized game is what I call that. So look, I'll just say this, since you let the cat out of the bag. I've always said that if Brantley can come back, it will be a huge bonus. The reason why I've had a hard time believing it is because every time he starts coming back and doing something good, there's been a setback. And so I want to be gleefully excited that I'm disappointed in the fact that I was wrong, and Brantley coming back and extending this lineup, Eric, would be huge. I mean, if you have Brantley in the playoffs and he's healthy and he's hitting, I don't care if he's DH or left field, let the man play. He played he played left field, and he looks good. He hit that home run. That's an excellent sign. But today's game, dude, like the first 4 batters did damage. I mean, Jesus Luzardo looked absolutely amateur. I mean, he looked like he went full Alec Manoah in that first inning. And I was just like, we might put 14, 15 runs on him in the first 2 innings. You know, now after the 5-run spot in the first, they came back with 2 more. The Marlins did make it a little bit of a game, and JV wasn't his sharpest, but he got his 252nd career victory. So tip your hat to Justin Verlander. The old stallion on the mound just gets the job done and supported. And guys, we got to look at this. Here's the big positive, the big takeaway from tonight's game. And you mentioned it, Eric. 2 games in a row where Justin Verlander gets massive run support. That's a huge sign, because if Verlander is susceptible to giving up a solo shot, if Verlander is susceptible to giving up a few runs, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the offense shows up. So that, I think, is massive.
Yeah, there's a lot of big keys. Altuve returning back to the lineup. He had a walk. He had RBI. He scored a run. You had Bregman with a home run, and this was I believe, his hardest hit home run in his career. So it was
Well,
107
I know
point
is
something.
this year it was his hardest hit. I don't know if it was in his
No, I'm
career.
pretty sure it was.
Was
Let
it
me
his
see.
career?
It's Alex Bregman's home run off of Luzardo, left his bat at 107.5. This is hardest home run of his major league career, and his fourth hardest
Oh,
hit ball as a big leaguer. So
oh,
yes.
okay.
So
Oh, interesting.
bueno, muy bueno. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of the lineup. I know that Bregman was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. You had Tucker with another big game. He had a home run, of course. He also drove in 3 runs. You had Alvarez with, I believe it was a triple, unless they called it error. But he was running around those bases like crazy. I think he even beat out infield hit. And you had Singleton get on base a couple of times, score 2 runs. McCormick with the home run, and then Dubon with a double. There's a little bit of an injury scare here. We'll talk about that a little bit more with Dubon, but he stayed in and played a little bit later. But in Pena with the hit as well. But the Astros baned out 12 runs, 12 hits, 12 RBIs, 7 walks, and struck out 9 times. So overall, that was a pretty good game. They had 7 runners left on base, and they're 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The only double play hit today was John Singleton. But overall, Pena had a throwing error that kind of led to 2 more runs scoring, if I remember correctly, from Justin Verlander. That was a kind of big blow at the time. It got them closer to, I think it was like 6-5 at the time, if I remember correctly. But overall, the Astros responded with 6 more runs in the 7th inning. And so that
Yeah.
kind of gave them this big old lead, and where it's like, oh, Pena's error, we don't care about that. It's okay.
Because that was a big throwing error. I think someone commented, and I've just got to get off social media during the game because it's just frustrating to watch people just moan and complain about every little thing. They're like, if we had Yuli on I'm like, no, you'd have to have Yao Ming on first for that
We
ball
haven't
to
had
get
Yuli all
caught.
season. Get over it.
I know. Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, no, John Singleton didn't miss that ball because he missed the ball because look, Pena tried to make a play. He was really throwing against his body. It wasn't an easy play to make, but we've seen him this series make some really good plays. And you love to see Singleton get off the schneid. He was, I believe, 0 for 15 until he got a hit. He did have 2 more walks. He has been walking. He has shown plate discipline. Someone goes, can we just sit Abreu? Can he just be like a sub every once in a while? Because Singleton's actually getting on base. He's getting around. And dude, he was hauling butt. He ran from second to home, made it, beat the throw. It was great to see that. And this team is having fun right now. And I want to see this offense more consistently. I want to see this offense more often. I don't want to see that on a Monday, Thursday, and a Sunday. I want to see it Monday, Tuesday, maybe take a day off. That's fine. You can't do it every single game. But here is the advantage of what we have is we're chasing the league leading scoring team in the Texas Rangers, right? They're still only have 2 more wins than we do. We are one of 5 teams with 70 wins now. We won our 70th game this year, and we are clearly one of the top teams that are going to come out of the American League. This team on paper is battle tested more than any other team. I still believe that we are the team to beat, that the championship still runs through Houston. No matter what's going on, we are still that team, and they showed it tonight. I think the Marlins are kind of fakish at being third in the NL East. I don't think they're that great of a team. I mean, let's just look at what they got outside of Arise. I mean, look, they have gotten in some good luck games like last night or the first game, right? We were hitting piss missiles off of the bat, but they were going to everybody. They were going to the glove of the Marlins, and that just is baseball, and that happens. But I do think that even though this is the greatest challenge the Astros will face, I think the Astros will overcome ultimately in the end.
Well, Soler has 30 home runs, and I get what you're saying. Chisholm is pretty good player himself, but what you're saying is the Astros need to have more swagger more often throughout the game. And so maybe Nutrafol would be something that would work for them. So this episode is brought to you by Nutrafol.
That's right. You don't have to choose between better hair growth or better health. You can choose them both. Nutrafol provides you a whole body health approach for men that promotes healthier hair. No drugs, no compromises, just better hair. Men think losing their hair is inevitable. Take control of your hair's future with Nutrafol's science-backed hair growth supplement for men. Did you know that 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime? It's normal, but it doesn't have to be your fate. You can get ahead of thinning with Nutrafol. Men tired of weakening or thinning hair? If you are, do you want to reach your full hair potential? The leading hair growth supplement, Nutrafol, helps improve your hair growth, visible thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning, such as stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body health. So take the first step in visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men, and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol/men, promo code LOCKEDONMLB today. And even though the Astros are off on Thursday, they play again on Friday. Mariners come to Houston Friday at 7:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch every pitch of the Astros hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Astros.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to do multiple things at once there, but yeah. So the Astros do have a day off. I think it's good for the rotation. I think it's good for the bullpen, and I think it's good for some of the guys that have been dealing with some minor injuries, like Dubon. I still don't know what happened there. It looked like he swung the bat and maybe just hurt his finger a little bit, but he stayed in the game. And I know
I think it was from a vibration of the bat. I don't think it was anything more than that. Sometimes that ball hits that handle just right. Yeah. And the vibration of that goes from your wrist to your elbow. And I know what it feels like with the metal bat. I can't imagine it feels any better with the wooden bat. So yeah, that's what it looked like to me. And I think that's why he stayed in the game. Had he been truly injured, I think they would have pulled him on the spot.
Yes. So I think that the Astros overall had a great game. This was you need to see them come out and score more runs like this. Give a guy like Verlander, he didn't have his best game, honestly, with the Astros. He gave 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them were earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He just didn't have his swing and miss stuff today. So if you look at overall, he's not even in the top. I mean, it's mostly Marlins with the swings and misses in today's game. So I think he had a total of maybe 2 swings and misses throughout the whole game, if that. So
he was giving us some hard contact for sure.
Yeah. So he just didn't have his best stuff today. But a guy like Justin Verlander, he has a way of just getting through the game. And that's what he did. He knew the Astros offense scored enough runs to get the job done. And so he just went out there and did it. So I expect a better effort next time around. But this wasn't what the Justin Verlander we could expect to see in the playoffs. So I wouldn't flip out. I wouldn't say, oh, here's the Mets guy. Maybe all the Mets diva talk worked on this. It just was a bad game.
He's got the second lowest ERA in the league since June 1st. I'm not worried about Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander is going to be fine. Justin Verlander is surrounded by a stellar team of studs that can back him up offensively. And how much more confidence does that give Justin Verlander going into the playoffs if the team starts supporting him every time he's out on the mound? I think that eases his mind, helps his mental preparation, and helps him push through some of the tougher times. We've seen that he is susceptible to giving up the long ball, but as long as he's keeping guys off of bases and not walking guys and maybe a solo shot here or there, it's not going to be detrimental, I think, in the end, where the Astros can ultimately one up or just be better than the team that they're facing. But that's why right now it is important for the guys that are pitching. Today's game, one of the biggest factors was the bullpen. And look, Eric, I mean, this bullpen, the way that they're performing is phenomenal. Rafael Montero has been put into games really masterfully. You've got to give Dusty Baker credit there. Bregman came in and did a good job. Montero, Stanek, Bushinsky, they all did a good job. They blanked the Marlins. The Marlins didn't score after Verlander left. That's the kind of support a star pitcher needs. He needs to know that his guys coming in behind him have his back.
Yeah, for sure. So this is overall a good team win. They scored enough for Verlander. Verlander will bounce back, and I just think the Astros are. And you didn't have to use your top guys today. I mean, Graveman. I don't know. I don't think he's one of your top guys. Stanek. I don't think he's one of your top guys. So you didn't have to waste your big bullets today. And now you have an extra day of rest, and so now you can get them ready for Seattle, because we know that while we know there's a lot of bad blood between the Mariners and the Astros. The Mariners may not be going the same direction the Astros are this year, but there's always bad blood. Every time you have Scott Service in town, it's always going to be something that's there's always going to be not headhunting, but it's always going to be something, some type of drama. But I'm excited to see the Mariners play. I know they've traded some of their players, but they still have some of their good pitchers going. So Michael Brantley, just to kind of go ahead before we talk about the rotation, Michael Brantley, as I talked about in yesterday's podcast, he was not in the lineup for Space Cowboys. This is planned. They're not going to just go ahead and have him play back-to-back games. So he'll probably be back in the lineup tomorrow or next time the Space Cowboys play. I'm assuming it's tomorrow. But
yeah,
so
I mean, it's just like Yordan Alvarez. I remember after his first rehab start, I was asking him how he's feeling, all that stuff, and the guy next to me said, "When are you going to play left field?" He goes, "Oh, I'm going to play tomorrow." And what did he do? He didn't play him the next day. So they are, especially with this shoulder injury, Eric, you're going to ease him back, especially with the setbacks that he's had. They're going to baby this a little bit. We don't need to rush Brantley back. We need to let him rest as much as he can. He's an older player. I want the freshest Brantley I can get. I want Brantley going out there and crushing the ball, being able to catch a ball, throw the ball in from the outfield. And heck, maybe he's not the Brantley that got the double play against Judge back in the playoffs, back in the ALCS. But even if he's a shell of that, even if he's 80% of that, I think it's just like another free agency or a trade deadline acquisition.
All right, so looking at what the Astros they're facing the Mariners, and we're gonna see this rotation. It's gonna be where is it? It's gonna be JP France on Friday night, Framber Valdez, and then Hunter Brown will be returning back to the rotation. This is something that we figured out. I don't know if Jose Urquidy is being skipped or if he's just being he's going to be pitching in the next series, but we always knew that Hunter Brown was just going to be taken out of rotation for that one little stretch. And what we saw is probably maybe something. I know that in the chat earlier, they're talking about Hunter Brown possibly being a fourth starter in the playoffs. We'll have to see. But what we saw the other day with Hunter Brown was he looked pretty good out of bullpen. And so JP France has looked good out of bullpen. Jose Urquidy has experience out of bullpen. So we've got three starters that could come out of bullpen. So that's something that a lot of teams don't have. And that's part of the Astros having the piggyback system in the minor leagues. And the fact that the Astros have been blessed with so many starters in the past. And Jose Urquidy has been kind of like the odd man out, like, okay, I guess I'm going to the bullpen. So I think that that's good. And the Astros have solved all their catching problems. You ready? They have signed catcher Andrew Knapp to a minor league deal, and they have signed him AAA Sugarland. He was released by the Tigers after spending the season at AAA. So he has 325 major league games. So I think he's going to be the third catcher, and he's going to come up and no,
it's not Eric. No, Eric. They've got Caesar salad in AAA.
I'm not going to troll.
They've got
troll.
No, let's not. I don't want to look. I'm already the president of the Astros cult. Apparently, I don't need any more monikers. I don't need to give anybody any reason to do that. Right. But hey, listen, guys, right here, I don't know if y'all can see this, but there is a link to our Discord. If you guys want to copy and paste that on Discord, you can come hang out with us. You can talk to us there. He said not Caesar. Look. I don't think we're going to carry 3 catchers, if I'm being really honest, in the playoffs. I mean, if we do, why? They're not going to play.
You have Diaz
okay?
available in certain situations where if you have to pinch hit for Martin Maldonado, you don't have to lose the DH. And if you go to
Yeah.
extra innings.
But we know Maldi is going to play pretty much you do realize that.
Yeah, but if you have Diaz as the starting catcher, DH, and you have Martin Maldonado as the catcher, and then you have to go ahead and pinch hit, then you're going to have to possibly lose the DH, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they've been doing that all year.
Yeah.
All right, so let me tell y'all about Sleeper. Sleeper is a great app. I was actually playing the game tonight, and it's phenomenal. First off, you get a $100 match on your first deposit on your mobile device, sleeper.com/promo/locked on, and they are available in 30 states. Dynamic payouts are live. You can make the picks during the game, and that's what I was doing. I was picking different games. I actually picked several things to go after for people getting a certain number of hits, people not getting home runs and things like that for the Rangers and Angels game. Can't give you the specifics there, but I think I'm on a pretty good trek to come out smelling good, smelling like roses, swing for the fences with Sleeper picks, and you could win 100 times your money. Use a promo code Locked On, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Predict the hottest baseball stats like home runs, strikeouts, and much more. To cash in on your daily fantasy baseball skills, use the promo code Locked On, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. You can play in-game contests, so much more, so go check it out today. And make sure that you hang out where the guys from Locked On Astros hang out. Go to your local area Hooters. Why? Because Hooters makes you happy. You can go to Pearland. You can go to NASA. You can go to Pasadena, Seabrook, Humble, Katy, Stafford. I mean, pretty much anywhere in between, all the way out to Galveston. Go to the island. Go check out Hooters out there. They have specials all day, every day. They have happy hour from 2 to 7, Monday through Friday, and 10 p.m. to close. They have $3.99 Blue Moon Draft. They have $9.99 Michelob Ultra pitchers. They've got so many things. They've got great desserts. They've got great wings. They've got great wing flavors. So if you're looking for good brews, you're looking for a place that's wanting to serve you and make your day, go check out Hooters. Why? Because Hooters makes you happy. And the Astros do play the Mariners. They come back to town Friday, 7:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch every pitch of the Astros hometown broadcast with Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search Astros.
All eyes are on the Texas Rangers versus the Angels. It is no longer a no-hitter, unfortunately, but the Angels are up 2-0 in the 9th inning. The Rangers are now batting against their closer, Estevez, and we will be following this story at Locked On Astros News.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's just look. Let's just hope that things come out the right way. There is a guy on first base right now, and it looks like Martinez is pinching. I don't know who that is. But look, the Astros need the Rangers to lose. The Astros need the Mariners to come into town, and the Astros need to keep winning ball games. That's all there is to it. You cannot control what other teams do. You can only control what you do. People were criticizing Dusty Baker saying that he didn't scoreboard watch. Eric, I actually do believe Dusty when he says that. Because if you're the manager of the team, your job isn't to worry about every little thing the other teams are doing. If my manager is so laser focused on another team and what they're doing, then how do I know he's focused on what I'm doing? How do I know that he's focused on the daily ins and the outs of managing the team that he's hired to manage? So he's not out there scoreboard watching like you and I are. He is out. You know what? Do we win? Do we lose? Okay, we won. Great. Let's go to the next game. Of course, someone probably tells him if the Rangers win or lose. At the end of the day, the players and the manager, I think, are focused. Their job is to get back to the World Series. Anything else, I think, to them is probably considered a failure, and there is not going to be anything that changes there. So no matter if the Rangers win or lose at the end of this podcast, or you're listening the next day and they won, they lost, whatever happened, the Astros still won. The Astros still didn't lose any ground on the Rangers. That is the good sign.
Yes. So I think that we're still looking for Altuve to hit 2,000. He entered the game 3 hits shy of 2,000. So he went hitless. He did walk. So we'll have to wait till the next game. But it was awfully good to see him back in the lineup. And he did ground up sharply. We had a lot of hitters, including Alvarez, who had a lot of hard contact in this game. But it just seemed like they found the fielders. But like Luzardo is actually a good pitcher. He's a great young pitcher, and he's actually had a great season. So for the Astros to be squaring up the baseball like they were in the first inning, that was just like, I was just so impressed. And it's just like this Marlins team, I don't know if they have the doomsday or the like the gauntlet lineup that a lot of teams have, but their lineup is better than a lot of people give them credit for when healthy. But overall, I think the Astros taking 2 out of 3 is great. You got to keep on winning series, and that's what the Astros need to do. That first game was a little bit disappointing because it just seemed like Framber Valdez on the mound. You should get some more offense. Framber Valdez should be able to pitch a little bit better, but you still got the series win. And at this point in the year, you got to just keep on winning series. And yes, you would love to get the sweeps, but we got to keep on just winning series and hope that the Rangers eventually lose, because there's like 40 something games left, and we just got to just play our game. We can't worry about what the other team is doing. And that's what I think that's what Dusty Baker's saying. But granted, the last few days of the season, Dusty Baker's will be watching that scoreboard.
Right. But if you look at their last several series, they won the Texas series. The only series they've lost was against Tampa Bay. They beat Cleveland. They swept them.
Right.
They didn't lose a series with the Yankees. They did split. They won the series with Baltimore. They won the series with the Angels, and now they won the series with Miami. So their record of winning series is definitely a lot better than it had been, and there's a little bit less inconsistency because they're getting more W's. After Seattle, they have 4th Boston at home, and then they go to Detroit and then to Boston. And then in September, we start off with the lowly Yankees here in Houston. The Yankees, for the first time, are under 500 this late in the season, I think, since like the 1990s or something. I saw something unreal. So, look, at least we're not the Yankees.
Again.
At least we're not these other teams. And as much as we have, as a fan base, moaned and complained about all these different things, this team still knows how to win. This team still is the defending World Series title, and I still believe that the title goes 3H down.
All right. Well, I'm a little bit worried about the matchup for JP France on Friday. He's going against TBD. So that's always a scary matchup. And then let's see if they have somebody for the next game.
JP France is the most consistent pitcher.
Valdez is going against TBD as well. Jeez, that's going to be a tough little matchup there.
Well, look, here's the deal. Who else would you want right now than JP France going up against the Mariners? Your most consistent pitcher. The guy that I think deserves some first place rookie of the year votes. Bottom line, he is one of the top, if not the top performing rookie pitcher. If he's not in the top 3 at the end of the season, it's going to be absolutely criminal, and it will be negligence. And I think we should file suit against whoever votes and doesn't vote for JP France, because JP France is the man right now. Viva la France. Okay.
It is Bryce Miller. I don't understand why the league website doesn't even have the updated thing. And I go to the 4-letter website and they have the updated.
It's probably an intern, and they're probably sleeping, or they're studying for their exams. They're probably freshmen at like New York University or something. I mean, I don't know.
So Bryce Miller is going to be on the mound. He's 7-4 with a 4.04 ERA. We'll talk more about this, but he has a 1.05 whip, and versus Hunter. No, this is not even right, because they have Hunter Brown pitching, but it's supposed to be JP France. So I don't even know if that's even right.
So, Eric, we've got someone in here, David Perez, saying that he's going to give player of the game to Kyle Tucker. And I would have to say that. I mean, Kyle Tucker today looks really, really good. But okay, so let's have a discussion here. Who gets player of the game, Alex Bregman or Kyle Tucker? Let's look at what they both did. Okay. Alex Bregman was 2 for 5, scored 2 runs, had 3 RBIs, did have 1 strikeout. Kyle Tucker only had two. He had 2 strikeouts. He did have 3 RBIs and 2 hits. They both hit a home run. Tucker did only score 1 run. Bregman maybe edges out Tucker because of his barehanded defensive play, his throw to first. So, look, if your player of the game is Kyle Tucker, I don't think it's a bad choice. I think Bregman edges him out just with the defensive side. But that's what's great about this team. You have 3 or 4 players on this team tonight that you could say, you know what, Chas McCormick, one of the players of the game. That's why this is a team victory. If you could give the bullpen player of the game, you could give it to them because they stopped the runs from scoring. Kendall Graveman looked good tonight, dude. Montero looked good tonight. I was just really encouraged with what I saw overall.
All right. So, Bregman had the home run and the double. And so that's 6 bases compared to Kyle Tucker's, 5 bases. So, that trumps it. I'm sorry there. So, and
no, that's okay. No, I was
Tucker did strike out twice. So, and the barehanded play. I'm just kidding here. They're
good
both
Lord, man. Kick my dog while you're at it. Jeez Louise. Instead of having a discussion, I didn't say pile drive me into the ground. Freaking went Roman Reigns on me, bro. What the heck?
Anyways.
Eric from the top rope.
Anyway, so that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll kind of take a deeper look into the Mariners series and what the Astros need to do the rest of the season to kind of finish maybe in first place. Do we want them to finish in first place? And go and send us your comments. Would it be better to be in first place, or would it be better to be one of the wild card teams? What do y'all think? Go and send it to us at Eric Astros or H-Town Wheelhouse or at Locked On Astros, or go and do it through the comments as well. So we'll go ahead and talk about that on tomorrow's show. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. And don't forget to tune in on Friday to SiriusXM for all the play-by-play action with JP France on the mound, and it's going to be on SiriusXM. Just download the app, SXM, and search Astros. And Brett, just say,
hey, go Angels. We're all Angels fans, and I hope the Rangers lose because why? They suck. Let's go Astros.